Hello, group. I'm Tony. I am a teacher here in Salt Lake City. I met Alicia through some of the yoga classes that she taught and was just inspired by a lot of her light and positivity, and I'm super appreciative that she presented this opportunity to join this group. Definitely found this to be exactly what I needed during this time, as a lot of things like this tend to happen. They show up for the right reasons at the right time, and being in more of a quarantined self-isolation situation, it's been really nice to have something to kind of ground to and to give purpose to and stuff like that. So as far as the tasks and stuff like that, like as I've led my own group, I've noticed that some of them have brought up some pretty strong blocks, which were honestly surprising to me because I didn't feel like any of the tasks like challenged me in terms of not wanting to do them. They were pretty easy to show up for, even though like the meditation themselves, carving out time for that at the right time every day seemed like it was the biggest struggle of this. But once the momentum got going, it was pretty easy to be excited about what was going to happen the next day. And then all of a sudden, as I started to do this meditation and do these tasks, I realized that not only did I enjoy it, but I wanted more of it, and it inspired me to take the meditation to a different place, which I will talk about more in just a second. But I really liked a lot of the things. The one thing that was the hardest for me, I think, was saying that I expect abundance to be in my life. And it's not that I don't think it's going to be there, but to say that I expect it is kind of a weird overexertion of that word. But to realize that the universe is going to provide it is definitely something that I recognize and allow. Sort of like the sun showing up every day. Like, I'm not expecting the sun to show up, but more like appreciate that it is, and like appreciates its abundance to be there, and like all the things that it can create. So that word was, maybe some of the terminology was a little bit tricky for me to like expect things of the universe, but to definitely be open and welcome to them is sort of where I found myself going. The meditation that I ended up doing, I think this was on like day 15 or 16, as I started to incorporate more meditation. So I would wake up a little earlier, and I would open up with kind of a Melody Beatty book that I would read from, and then I started to do this chakra practice where I would focus on the root first, and then kind of have been working my way up through the chakras, like trying to clear any debris and stuff like that through those chakra channels. And I think that this obviously gave me access to feel like that was something that I wanted to incorporate. So for me personally, it's kind of gotten me back in touch with meditation. As a daily practice, it's gotten me in touch with writing more, and kind of just overall spiritual awareness and spiritual presence within myself on a daily basis, which has been really nice. It's definitely helped me recognize, like, trusting that the universe is going to show up in the ways that I need. I've had some interesting little money situations come up, like not grand, but when I wasn't expecting it, these money situations have come in interesting ways. But more than anything, just like appreciation, and this idea that through deletion actually is where my abundance can come from, like living and needing less, clearing out a storage unit that was draining some of my money, and realizing that I didn't need all of those things, and finding good homes for most of the stuff that I've had there, and not having DI open. So it didn't even force me to find different spots, but it's been interesting that I've found homes for things when that wasn't an option. And so it's just interesting how I like to think of it as water flowing, and the universe has allowed these paths of least resistance to form, and as I feed into that, like the abundance kind of pours down the mountain in that path of least resistance and finds the places that need it the most. So that's been a very interesting takeaway as well. Trusting my uniqueness and like filling into my space, that that I bring something unique to this world that no one else brings to, and like having appreciation for that, and honoring that and holding that space for myself has been another really important takeaway. And I've found that forgiveness has been one of the hardest hurdles for me to have, not only for myself and like not holding myself to this perfect line, but also forgiving other people for maybe wrongdoings or something like that. Like I hold myself and other people to some pretty high standards, and it takes a lot of work and energy to hold people to those standards, whereas forgiveness and just softening there is so much more rewarding, and I don't have to carry those things anymore. So that's been another thing that I've really felt into. Projects and ideas that I have going forward are continuing these card readings that I really enjoy doing with animal cards, and like reading into how people approach them and like how these animals reflect back to them. I know that when things are all said and done, I want to lead a journaling group, and I want to be able to take kids up into the mountains and hike with them, and give them access to learning about their chakras and learning about personal power and just finding their voice through writing and stuff like that. And it's always been something, and it's been an idea that I've been bouncing around for a long time, and this has given me more tools and more motivation to want to feed into that. I know that there's some blog ideas that I have wanted to start and kind of initiate, as well as a short story that I've had in my mind for a long time that I want to get started as well. And so all of these things have kind of been little sparks and conduits to get those things generated, and just kind of getting more momentum, and being able to like kind of do the groundwork and the preparation work for knowing how to approach those projects in the way that feels authentic and genuine to me has been a nice part too. So, and then I think the one thing I really didn't expect is through the group that I've made to have so much positive feedback through there. So as I've given my time and my energy in showing up for that group, like I keep getting some really positive feedback, and that's been a really interesting place for me to see where abundance and the cycle of energy really does play a role and stuff like that. So it's been a nice little example, and it's very interesting that the people in my group a lot of them chose not to start their own groups or had a lot of resistance to that, and it was also a place for me to forgive and to just like hold that space and honor that they're going through what they need to do. And just because I am gaining so much through that experience doesn't mean that that's what they need either, or will have to take away from this. And so that we all take what we need from this. And I made the comparison that this meditation is almost like a buffet of food that's been created and kind of and then we offer it to other people, and they get to choose the meals that they want to create from that and what's going to sustain them and nourish them. And so it's been my favorite way to sort of look at this situation and this experience, and the feedback that I got back from Alicia every time was that I was kind of approaching it in the right way, because I was approaching it in the way that felt right to me, which is kind of the way that everybody needs to and should be approaching this. So that's my takeaway. Very open to continuing these dialogues, and appreciate the people that were holding space in these moments, especially my girlfriend Christy. Like, that we got to do this together, and that we showed up for meditation together every day and kind of did our own thing with it, even when I was gone for a few days, and we still made the time to kind of like meditate and go through these things together. And it was really nice to have a partner to walk through these experiences with me. So a lot of my gratitude goes out to her, and my love for her and sharing this experience with me, and like kind of intertwining it and having a person to like bounce and get feedback off of and kind of support and stuff like that has been super fulfilling too. So anyway, thank you all so much. Thank you, Alicia, for setting this up and holding that space for us, and I look forward to continuing whatever comes and allowing that to flow in and out. So thank you.